here, I always like to leave a piece of hair to use as a filler in case there's anywhere in the design that I have a hole or I need it for. And it's just a trick that I've always done, and just thought I'd share that tip. Right now I'm going to incorporate the ends from the front into a pin curl with half of the right side of the ponytail. What I want to do is just smooth the outside and the underneath, but I'm leaving all that tease in the middle. It just makes it easy to work with. When the updo is sectioned and you have an overall idea and design of where you're going with it, then we use 2 bobby pins so far, 2 ponytails, and so my hands are free to create because we've already know the look we're going for, but the design is kind of letting the hair speak to you. So we know we want this beautiful curls down on her shoulders, and we want this in the front for this kind of a look, and tight sides. But what happens in here is letting the hair speak to you and shifting in where your rolls. You're gonna do barrel rolls, you're gonna do pin curl rolls, you're gonna do knots, you're gonna, you know, this here in the middle is the creative part. And it's nice to have a system where everything is up and you're free now to just be creative. I don't want to ruin the fatness of the pin curl, and I don't want to see bobby pins in the middle of the pin curl, so I tend to follow almost like a square. So come in here and go square, so then I can pinch, there's that bobby pin, and I can pinch and hide it with spray, so the bulk of the middle is done. Going for full pin curl right now. It's like a half a one, and I'm going to, because what I want to do is I want to fill in here where there's a hole, and I want to have enough for over here. So I'm going to just bend it over. And again, I still have a couple of spare pieces of hair, but what I'm trying to go for now is symmetry right from the front. I'm going to check her front for symmetry. So what I'm looking for is this and that to be symmetrical. I might tighten it up, but that's where we're starting. So when she's looking in the mirror, this with the curls down is the look she's going for the event or the party or the prom, 1940s or 1950s or you know, Halloween costume or a school play, I call a hairspray school play or whatever. These are just great looks. So this is kind of done, the bottom is done, so I'm just going to continue in the back, finishing up the curls in the back. So I'm going to let the bottom down, and then I can see that there's enough hair to bridge that gap between the down hair and what's going on up here, so we don't have a seam. have a sectioning system that allows you freedom to get detailed, your creativity is going to go through the roof. And your ability to ask for more money is going to go with it. Here's a trick. When you have a seam, you can take your brush. I'm going to take one that this one's a little bit more flat. This one's teeth I like for teasing. So when you have a seam there that you don't like and you don't want to have to hide it, you can use a brush like this and you need to resist me. You have to educate your client. I'm going to just brush that and just kind of pull it over, and there you go. It's covered. Okay? Sometimes I've seen people when I teach my Updo classes that there's a hole or whatever, and they're trying so hard to drag some little snippet of hair somewhere else from the Updo, and you can just get in here and spread it a little. And that's what's nice about the ponytail, is that's the base. That ponytail in there is not going anywhere. So you are free to move this a bit and drag it, and even if we have to hairpin it. Working, this guy is like flopping a little bit, so I'm going to go in and deal with it. It's kind of like having problems in your life. You can ignore them, or you can deal with them. So before I get any further, and that's kind of floppy, I'm going to deal with it right now, even though I'm working on this. There's nothing wrong, I didn't make a mistake, and these are the things you need to tell yourself. There's nothing wrong, I didn't make a mistake, I just have to stop what I'm doing and go back and secure this. Don't really want to try hard to prevent yourself from getting frustrated. Literally, when you get frustrated, the cortisol hormones go raging through your body, and the ability to rationally think and calm yourself down in your frontal lobe area is inhibited. It's like a chemical, it's like a hit. So the cortisol is in there if you let yourself get frustrated and worked up. So now you have this chemical that your adrenal gland just processed. So you now have a chemical in your body that's going to take 10 to 15 minutes to dissipate. So if you can prevent yourself from getting worked up, you will prevent the cortisol adrenaline rush, and you'll be able to remain calm. Then you can think, because when you get wound up, you can't think, and then you get continually ratchet. And you worked long and hard in school. You are talented. You have a career ahead of you, and you don't want to derail yourself just from emotions. We can control. And this is where you can look, and I still have a nice big piece of hair left over here. So this one can be like something creative, and I'm thinking I might want to drag it up and do something a little bit further up in here. It's a head game. You're dealing with the emotions of a wedding and the emotions of the client, because it's not a normal day for her. This is not like after work, get my haircut, go home. She's going somewhere. This is a big moment. So it's an inner game. There's a lot of inner game, a lot of head game, and the systems that I have cut the stress level 90%. So I'm going to, what I just did is just gonna loop it over here and get the brush I like. Now this is in a ponytail, so I always pinch and smooth. That way I'm not just pulling on the hair. Even though it's in a ponytail, I don't want it to pull out. So and some of these things are so automatic, I'm glad I can talk out loud. Pinch and smooth. So I'm always pinching when I'm smoothing. And so what I'm looking for is there's a nice little movement going on here. And again, this is my last piece. So if I can make something really pretty with this last piece, I always call this the money piece. It's really creative and it just might set off the whole look. And once you get good with the system, you can move around at a clip. I'm stopping to talk and teach, but you can move at a pretty good clip, and it works.